Hello developers, are you struggling to read API documentation and understand that for implementation in any of the RPA projects? If yes, this is the right video. You can learn how we can reduce the time and the effort while implementing API automation in Automation Anywhere projects. Yes, we have now the cool feature called Connector Builder. It will help you to reduce the time to understand the documentation as well as implementation in the project. Let's see how we can utilize that and how it impact our development timeline. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to get first notification to you. Without wasting the time, let's see the live demo. First, we will understand what is Connector Builder in Automation Anywhere. Connector Builder is a no-code API integration tool that lets you connect any cloud app or custom service which is having API services. And this particular Connector Builder feature is now available in AWS as well as GCP Cloud. And this feature is only available in enterprise platform, no community version. And the beauty of this particular connector builder is there is no other licenses are required other than your enterprise platform licenses. And if you need a more information about connector builder, always you can go to Automation Anywhere documentation portal and you can see the step-by-step information about connector builders. Let's see the live demo with step-by-step and we will understand how exactly connector builder will work in Automation Anywhere live project. I'm having one of the use case called Open Weather API extraction. So basically this Open Weather website will give you current weather detail from the different cities. But the problem with the automation is I need to go to API and I have to understand first what is exactly the documentation for current weather data extraction. So basically this particular documentation is having huge data and I'm unable to understand what exactly I need for my automation, right? But now Automation Anywhere Connector Builder will help us to understand the documentation in a very easier way and we can implement as a package also. Let's see how we can utilize this Open Weather API current weather in a very simple manner using Connector Builder package in Automation Anywhere. Let's first understand how we can create API custom package using connector builder in Automation Anywhere Enterprise Version Control Room. The first you have to navigate to Enterprise Version Control Room, then you have to click on Manage, then click on Packages. Once you will click on the packages, you will see all the packages which is available in your control room. And in the right hand side top corner, if you are having a create connector, this particular option, then you are having a right role in your control room user. If you are not having this option, then you have to ask to your admin to give a proper role to create a connector builder. So now I'm having a create connector and if I click on this plus symbol, I will get a notification bar like this. I need to fill the information. What is exactly name of the connector builder package, right? Example, I'm having current weather data. So let me add current weather API because I'm creating today current weather API and you can have a base URL. So basically you can understand the base URL from your API documentation example here if you're having. No need to read all your documentation, right? So just you have to understand what is exactly the base URL for all your API endpoint. So this is my endpoint. Let me copy this and come back to the connector builder and you can have it in the base URL. And again, the cool feature is you can change this base URL after you create a connector builder also. Just for a first naming purpose, we are adding here base URL and the name, and also you can add a description if required. So I'm just creating. So once you created, it will navigate to setting page. Here we have to set our current weather API informations. So basically you can add one by one information if you are having a documentation in a portal, like example, add an action and you can give a name and the description and you can add one by one REST API or a POST API, whatever the method you have. But the beauty of this particular current weather API is you can import API definition document. In the top corner, you can see here import API definitions. You just have to click on that, and now it is available with open API file, means your Swagger API file or Swagger API URL or the Postman collection. So most of the APIs nowadays we can see in the Swagger or the Postman, right? So whatever you comfortable with, that you can utilize here for importing your API definition document. Let's see our current weather data is having a Swagger or the Postman. Okay, so basically this is having a Postman. I'm comfortable with a Postman, or you can maybe you utilize a Swagger also. Let me use a Postman collection for current weather data. Let's see how we can utilize. Okay, let me check this Postman collection. Navigate to Google and search for API Open Weather Swagger, or you can search for API Open Weather Postman, right? So as I told, I'm very comfortable with Postman, so I'm just taking a Postman. You can search with Swagger also if it is available. So once you are searching here, you will see the Postman collection for open weather map, right? So I'm just going inside this, and we can see the open weather API collection in the Postman. So let me go inside. So now it is loading. Maybe first time if you are clicking on that particular link, you will get a login page and all. Please log in with your Gmail address or username and password. So once you will go inside, here in the left hand side you have a collection. So please click on that, and you can see here open weather API and the weather map. So currently I need call current weather data, right? So I need exactly the current weather from the different cities, not all other informations. Example, if you see here, I'm having a city ID, latitude, longitude, zip code, but I don't need exactly that, right? So you can filter out here itself, or you can import into automation anywhere and you can filter out. Let's take it as it is, then we will see how we can make it filter in our automation anywhere custom package. Okay, so let's take it open weather map and click on this three dot, and you can see export option here. So let me click on export, and yes, collection 2.1 you can take it, or to whatever basically how you need, right? So based on that you can just take a collection from the Postman or a Swagger. You can give a Swagger URL also if you're having. So let's go back to the connector builder now, and I have added a Postman collection here, and you can browse and you can take open weather Postman collection and import it. Once you will import, see how quickly this is taking, right? Within a fraction of second, all your information of the API is tagged in the current weather API custom package, right? This is a beauty of connector builder. And you can see here we have in the Postman two different API, right? Open API. One is a open API Lightning, and another one is we have open weather map, right? So I need exactly open weather map. So I don't need a other one. So forecasted weather, I'm just deleting. I don't need. And call current data. Yes, I need this particular information. And here another beauty is you can upload a icon also using edit icon. So currently I'm using a system default icon. If you're having any icons for your packages, right, you can definitely use that icon by using this browse option. So currently I'm just using this call current weather and end URL, right? So as here if you see, after the weather it is taking a get option, but I need an end URL in a different way. Let me add it like this. This is my end URL, because if you go back to the current weather, here you can see the end URL, right? This is my end URL. So I'm just making a change. As I told earlier, you can change always this endpoint by using edit. So now I'm just saving this, and also I told clearly, right, I don't need all this particular information from the API. So this is a filtering, right? I don't need a city ID and latitude, longitude. By this way, I don't want to search my particular weather. I want to go only with city name. Then you are having the opportunity to select all or deselect whatever you require. Example, I need the city name, and also the most important part is API key, right? That is very much required. So that API key also I will take it. Let me take a API key also. Other all options I don't need in my particular packages if you don't want. If you need, you can keep it, but I'm just removing to show you guys how we can make a filter or whatever necessary in the API, right? Only that we can consider for our packages. So just I'm taking city name and my API key, right? I'm just saving this. That's it. And now we are ready with a API. And also you can see here, if you want to pass a header, right, you can always pass it here. But this API is not having a header detail. If you go back and see here, we are not having any header information, right? So its header is empty. Only we have a parameter and body also empty, right? So basically, if you are having header, you can always pass that header in the request header and request body. If you're having a body, you want to pass it, that also you can pass it here. And the response, if you want to get a proper response in a key and value pair, you can always add a JSON sample response from your API package, and you can map it to some key and value pair. But I need all the data. Let's take it as it is. I just added a parameters and whatever the required parameters I need, right? Only I will keep it that. So let me just remove all other things which is not required for me. API key and city name. Only this is required and save it. So once it is saved, I will just come back and here your API package is ready, and now just you have to click on the publish package. Okay, now I just created my package using the current weather API information using connector builder, right? Let's go to automation and let me create one particular task bot here. Okay, so task bot called maybe current weather API and create and edit. Once I create a task, fresh task, let's see the magic here. Whatever you have created in connector builder as a custom package, just you have to type it in the action panel with the same name. Example, current weather API, right? And the beauty here is not only it is appearing to you, it is appearing for all your colleagues who are all having the creator access with the same control room. And another opportunity here is you can export this particular package and import it in any other control room. I mean, you can upload into bot store also. And the beauty here is just you have to utilize same as your other package, drag and drop it, and you can see here whatever the filters we have added, same filter you can see here, right? The queue is optional, APPID is optional, but it is not optional. We can change this optional to mandatory also in your API connector builder. Okay, so let's check and what is exactly the API. Come to the API ID part, right? Basically, every API will have the authentication. So this particular need API ID. So basically, you have to go for a current weather application, and you can see in the login page my API key. Just you have to go to API key, and I'm having two API key, or you can generate a API key, and this API key is very important and you should save it in a secure way. So let me just copy this and come back to the connector builder automation anywhere and paste it here. So and the city, right? City you can consider as a variable also. You can insert the variable. Example, let me take a city in a prompt. So user will usually give the city, right? So I will just take a prompt for value as simple as, and here I'm just typing check current weather, and here in the prompt message I will type please enter your city name, because we have already set a filter. We have to go only with the city name, no latitude, longitude or something for this API, and assign this variable with str input. So let me take it as str input, create and select and save. And this input is a variable for me. Dynamically we are taking information from the user, and that input I will insert in str input. So let me take it, and the base URL is very important. Let me take a base URL with the current weather data API documentation, and I'm not searching for any other city name or something, right? Just I'm taking a API endpoint, the base URL. I'm just copying and come back to the connector builder and paste it here. You can consider this as a credential vault in automation anywhere connector builder. So now I'm just creating a dictionary variable. Let me create as dic result because it's a dictionary. I'm following some of the basic naming convention for creating a variable. It's a best add a message box. Let me add a message box like this, and I know the response, right? So always I will get as a response. So let me take a dictionary variable from here, and the key is response. So that you will get as a response in your dictionary variable. So let me run the bot first. So once, see, only the simplest part is we are not taking rest or post or delete, or we are not bothering about what is exactly the API. Just we are copying from the collection and we are just importing, and whatever the filter required, only we are doing that one. So basically this is very, very helpful for the developers who are very new to the API. They don't aware of what is a REST API, what is a delete API, right? So the senior developer or architect can build a connector builder and they can share all these particular packages with all the developers. This will be very, very helpful in the future to reduce our development effort time for a different API tasks. So example here, the current. Let's search for famous city in India, that is Goa, the famous holiday destination. So I'm just searching a Goa. I want to know what is exactly the current weather today in Goa, right? I'm just searching and I'm clicking OK. So now using a three activity, I'm getting a result from the API, right? So basically before it was very hard to read the documentation and understand where exactly we can find these details, right? But now this is very, very beautifully designed by the Automation Anywhere team that we can utilize the API task as a package very easily. And the important part is we can export this package and import into any other control room. One person can build and so many people can use it, right? Same like a reusable component. Now the API automation is very, very simpler. No need to understand complete documentation of the API, and the connector builder will help us to create a more and more packages like this and utilize in our current projects, right? If you're having any doubts on the connector builder, please comment on this video. We will try to help you in the comment section. Happy learning. Go be great.